Good morning, everybody. I think I have fixed the audio issues on YouTube. I tested it out. Sounds good. Okay. Hallelujah. I pushed a button on my Focusrite receiver. I don't know. INST was the button. And so I'm going to get rid of the Bollinger Bands. They're just an eyesore to look at. And so, yeah, we're good. We should be good. I hope you guys followed my game plan. Yeah, sounds better. Yeah, that stream on X with On-Chain Labs, I was learning stuff. There was stuff that he talked about I didn't even know. And I was like, oh, you know what I was thinking? I was thinking taxes. That's the thing he was talking about that I was like, ooh, another way to offload my crypto gains. Oh man, I'm fired up. Just listen, when the time comes to buy HEEHEE, to go risk on again big time, that's going to be a game changer. So I'm really excited about that. If you're watching on TikTok, I am live on YouTube, World War Bitcoin. I have a members live stream on YouTube, but it's open to the public. And okay, yeah, as I was saying, guys, I gave you the game plan. I hope that you followed it, that you weren't too afraid. What was the game plan? The game plan was over the last 3 weeks leading up to today to buy crypto. Pretty simple. And look at where we were 3 weeks ago. Okay, did I say this on March 11th? I did not. But at some point, when was it? I think it was when Total 2 broke the downtrend. I was like, now I'm buying crypto. I'm buying crypto. Oh, I'm on a different thing here. And so I'm about done buying crypto. And, maybe I should have bought, up to yesterday and not today. So we'll see where this goes from here. But, unfortunately, Bitcoin dominance is doing pretty well. It looks like Total 2. Forget about these scenarios. I drew these scenarios out yesterday. I'm just going to delete them now. Looks like Total 2 is perhaps forming a higher low. Now, we do have to hold our breath a little bit. Donald Trump is speaking at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. It is currently 1 p.m. Eastern Time, close to 1 p.m. Eastern Time. So we'll see what he does. We got to brace ourselves for the Trump effect. But still, it's always a good time to be cautiously optimistic. Chip says, I'm scared Bitcoin daily facing the 200, the 50, and that perfect downtrend resistance. Let me show you. Let me get rid of the Bollinger Bands again. Now, okay, this is where we are right now. So should you buy now if you didn't buy up until today? I don't know, man. I did open a short at $86,400 and it's still open and I'm down on it. I have other positions open too. I have some longs open, but this could be a wick. So I would not buy right at this moment. This could end up being a wick, but if we see a daily close above the 200-day and above the trend line, that's going to be a good sign. So you mentioned the 50 chip. Let me see if I have the 50 on here. I know I do. EMAs. All right, 50. So where's the 50? The green line, it's very difficult to see here. It's thin, but it's around $88,000, the 50 moving average. I like what I'm seeing here. Now, Bollinger Bands, let me tell you what I think would be I would say 200 is more important, but you want to go with 50, that's fine. Top of the Bollinger Bands is right at the 50 as well. So there's probably going to be resistance at $88,000. Let's see where we go from there. It'll take some time. I would say 88,000 for this week is what matters. 88,000, sorry, not what matters. 88,000 for this week is probably the max. That would be my guess. So, if I see Bitcoin up at 88 or no, at 89,000, excuse me, or 80 mid 88s. If I see Bitcoin at mid 88s, probably stochastic would go back to overbought, excuse me. I'd be taking my foot off the gas a decent amount. And just waiting for probably a back test of the trend line here, at least one. So maybe we'd go, break out and then go down and back test 86, 85, something like that. So, and then, but I mean, I think we're looking good. So, okay. Let me pull up the trading spreadsheet or trading journal, excuse me. And again, time to start longing. That was March 24th, March 31st. I've trimmed the list down to 20 cryptos. 50 was too overwhelming of a list. I should be able to provide higher quality feedback for the 20 that remain. Looking for short-term longs this week. That was 2 days ago that I said that. Now, I'm waiting a little bit. So I'm in my positions. I'm up on my positions. For the most part, there's some that I'm down on. Like, my shorts have not done well this week, but I have a lot more longs than shorts. And that's just how it goes, when we see a for sure uptrend, I mean, here's the deal. If we see Bitcoin go above whatever this candle was, let me get rid of the Bollinger Bands again. Whatever the candle was, Uniswap, foregone. You should not long Uniswap right now. You don't want to be left in the dust. Yeah, so the fact that you're experiencing FOMO makes me even more cautious. Do not long Uniswap or do not long crypto right now. We're closer to a local top than we are to a local bottom. But, with Bitcoin, we put in a higher high here. Then this March 24th peak, which got up to 88 and some change, will be looking pretty good. That's above the 50 moving average as well. So, thank you, John Doe. So I'm feeling pretty good right now. Just for the rest of this week, probably gonna have to ride it out. I'm assuming. Now again, Trump could speak and throw everything out the window, long, short, whatever. Yeah. But I am a bull right now. It makes sense to me that we would, after all that selling, after all the uncertainty, the market does not like uncertainty. After all that uncertainty, we would finally have certainty and the market would move up. How high up? I don't know. But certainty causes up. Okay, uncertainty, feeling like we're standing on shaky ground, does not cause up. So let me look at the VIX real quick. I mean, the VIX has been elevated lately. I mean, I know this is an S&P thing, but the VIX is communicating a fair amount of uncertainty. We've been ranging higher, trending higher, except for that one day, the scare with the Japan carry trade. We're pretty high. We've been pretty elevated, and that is uncertainty. So let's see. Got to brace ourselves. I'm in my positions right now. I'm just holding tight, holding my breath, praying for the world to not end. And I'm being a little facetious when I say that. With these Trump tariffs, So, but, okay. I'm happy to answer any questions. Again, for those who are watching on TikTok, it's a sub-only TikTok, but you can watch on YouTube for the member live stream. And the public is available to watch that, but only members are available to ask questions. And that's because I mostly want to look at charts. I don't want to just, I want to respond to every question that I get, but I want to look at charts. So, okay. I looked at some charts earlier. Let me pull up Polkadot real quick. So Polkadot 419. I'm noticing this with a lot of cryptos. Okay. You know, if you see the last, I don't know, 50 days, maybe 50 days. Let me look at Doge real quick. I mean, Doge, not so much 50 days, more like 20 days for Doge. A lot of these altcoins look like they're forming, look like the selling is just exhausted short term, and they're just waiting. They're waiting for something, you know, for a pop with Bitcoin or for a black swan event, for something. Given how oversold they are, especially you look at the weekly chart on Doge, super oversold for stochastic and RSI. Even on the monthly for Doge, I mean, we're in oversold territory. This makes me think that after forming this base right here, what we have ahead of us is a move higher. A move higher, it just depends on where. So took a week off of crypto for spring break. Well, welcome back. You know, you're back on a day that we're hoping. I've had this day circled on my calendar for a while. We're hoping is a good day. So I mean, it already is. It's gone pretty well so far. But okay. So for Polkadot, I do wonder if 393 was a local bottom. I put on my notes on my trading spreadsheet or my trading journal. Good for spot bids at the moment. 394 would be a good entry if it goes that low. So I'm okay buying spot for Polkadot right now. For leverage, I'd wait for it to go, you know, maybe a little bit lower. Let me look at the 4-hour real quick. A lot of 4-hour charts are still pretty overbought. Excuse me. Spots. Steve, what are you asking? I'm not sure what you're asking about. Oh, Aptos. Spots. I feel like shorting uni. Do the opposite foregone of what you feel like doing. Let's see. Aptos. Let me go back to the daily. So it's been very confusing for me with Aptos. You know, I was expecting, I initially was hoping that 554 would hold, but then it lost that. But then when it lost it, it didn't really do anything. It didn't do anything of significance in terms of, here's what I would have expected when Aptos lost that support was it would go down to this liquidation wick, 458, 459, something like that, and it's just hanging around under this support but not filling the wick. So I don't know. I'm less confident about this. It's newer utility, highly inflationary utility. It's a little bit more dangerous for my tastes. So I think you'll be fine if you buy it, but I'd rather get other things. I'd rather get my hands into other things. So other things like Ethereum, just kidding, not Ethereum. I don't know what to make of Ethereum, man. Here's what I'll say about Ethereum. This is the daily chart. Oh my goodness, that's what's a very ugly daily chart. If there is ever a point with Ethereum that causes you to get excited about it. Oh wait, this is ETH Bitcoin. That's why it looks so bad. Okay, Ethereum itself does not look as bad. All right, I was like, man, I mean, the Ethereum chart still looks terrible, but not as bad as the ETH Bitcoin chart. So if you ever get to a point where you think Ethereum is back, my encouragement to you, my plea to you would be, don't forget today. Don't forget how you felt on March 31st or April 2nd of 2025. Because Ethereum is done. It could put in a new all-time high. It could put in a dead cat bounce. Ethereum is done. All right, this is it for Ethereum. After this run, after whatever comes of this, even if Ethereum goes to $6,000, $7,000, even $10,000, I'm telling you guys, Ethereum is done. Ethereum is AOL. But 236, this is the 236 retrace from the previous all-time high. Done a double tap of that, and Adam and Eve double bottom looking like. Right now, Ethereum looks good. Right now, Ethereum looks like it's bottomed out. A confirmation of that would be a move above this this local top here at 2100 and a break through this previous level of support, which I just blew me away that Ethereum lost that level of support in the first place. That's when I knew that something was wrong. It lost that support, yeah. So there's potential with Ethereum right now. But there's potential with lots of things. So if you see Ethereum at $1,805, I mean, it shouldn't get there this time. But if you see it $1,805, then I'd say that's a good entry. All right, let me look at Uniswap. Foregone is in the house. Oh, Uniswap. One of the least interesting cryptocurrencies in all of existence. Look at Uniswap. Actually, Uniswap looks exactly like Ethereum, pretty much exactly like Ethereum. So everything that I just said about Ethereum, I mean, the reason why I'm saying that, double bottom. Adam and Eve double bottom. A higher low, by definition, a higher low. This one looks good. Now, where do you long it? It shouldn't get back to this level of support here, $5.85. So again, foregone. I'm telling you, I know you want to do high leverage. You want to do something higher. If you want to enter Uniswap as a long right now at 2x leverage, just market long, knock yourself out. If not, you want to use higher leverage, which I'm literally using 1x and 2x leverage. That's it. It's spot or 2x max. Where do we go from here? I would follow this 20-day moving average, 20 period moving average, excuse me. And as this rises, that's the level of support. So that should hold this time. You don't think it will dip if tariff news causes the market to dip? If tariff news causes the market to dip, it will dip, yes. Yes. I don't think it's going to dip with tariff news, or with not news, but just the event, the event that we've been waiting for. Oh, man. Let me look at Jasmine real quick. This has been really depressing. Gosh. Oh, that's the 4 hour. I mean, it looks like there's no end in sight with Jasmine. And all these support levels, you can just see it hung around all the levels of support and then lost it. Hung around, lost it. So where do we go from here? I don't know. I mean, maybe 0.008. It's another one that I'm like, okay, the first time if it gets there, 0.008, I would be interested in opening along. But otherwise, this is stay far away territory, unfortunately. Now, Chainlink, opposite story. So I'm liking Chainlink right now. I have a limit order set at $13.77. It's at $14.03 right now. I think it can get there. I like Chainlink. All right, is there any sign of bottoming in the Bitcoin ETH chart? Let's look at that. So I'll do ETH Bitcoin instead of Bitcoin ETH. I think that's what you meant. Here's what I want to look at. I mean, no, the answer is no. There is no sign of bottoming, but we've been in a worse position before. So All right, I got to go to weekly. All right, so you can see on TikTok, it's been worse before, believe it or not. 2019, September 2nd of 2019 was the all-time, not the all-time low, the low at any time since 2018, since alt season of 2018. We are now lower than where we were, the low, well, all right, 2020, throughout 2020. January of 2021 was a local bottom for Ethereum and priced in Bitcoin that I would have hoped would have held, but even we've lost that. So, you know, I mean, maybe we'll go all the way back to, 0.01586 Bitcoin per ETH. That's crazy. So as of right now, there's no sign of bottoming. And when you pair that with Bitcoin dominance is continuing to rise. And man, I really hope this is a false breakout. Look at this. This is not the direction I wanted this to go. Any of us would want this to go, should want this to go. This could be a false breakout for sure. But if you've noticed, altcoins are not pumping as well as Bitcoin is. And here's why. I mean, Bitcoin dominance looks like it's ready to break out to the upside, unfortunately. Is there any way? I mean, no. I was going to say, is there any way I could like reconfigure this ascending wedge? And I just don't see it. Okay. Do you think we are off to the races if we pump today? I know you want answer. I do not like answering questions like that, and you continue to ask them. You just do not stop asking them over and over again. Even in a comment on one of my videos, I saw that comment foregone. Here's what I said earlier. I know I said it before you. I said it before you hopped on this live stream. There's a lot of resistance. Oh man. Oh yeah, Bollinger Bands, top of the Bollinger Bands, 50-day moving average. Those are the two things. So let me show you 50-day moving average, green line. Where is that? About $88,000. Bollinger Bands on the daily as of right now is top of that is 89,000, 88.5. I think that's the peak for this week. Are we off to the races? No, not yet. I mean, we've been off to the races in some regards. Bitcoin is up $6,000 in 3 days, 2 days, 48 hours. In 48 hours, it's up $6,000. So we're off to the races in that regard. But not off to the races the way you might be thinking, like up only. No, we're not there yet. But uptrend. Remember what happened in September. September, end of September for Bitcoin. We finally, after 6 months of struggling, we finally, at this point right here, on September 27th, we put in a higher high. That's all I'm looking for right now. Were we off to the races after putting in that higher high? Oh no, we weren't. We dumped. We got into October and had a terrible start to October and even dumped some more. And then, were we off to the races? I mean, it didn't feel like we were off to the races all throughout October, and then early November, we dumped some more, and then we were off to the races. So it may be that, if all we do right now is just give all we need to ask for, the only thing we should be looking for is a higher high on the daily chart. If we get above 88,000, we get to 89, 90,000, that's an uptrend. We are in an uptrend in Bitcoin. No more downtrend, for now at least. And then if it's anything like September and October, it's another month of, slowly climbing up, getting rejected, slowly climbing up, getting rejected. And then maybe after that, maybe in May or something, we'll have a moment that feels like it's off to the races. That's the best case scenario in my opinion. But listen, there's a lot of resistance above. So what's the resistance? I mean, you can see all the fibs that I've drawn out here. From swing high to swing low, we got the 618 at 91,000. We got this level of support that we held for 100 days, 91,878. We have the 786 is probably going to be some resistance. Remember, we got up to that exact level on that Trump pump. The 786 is $95,000. That is a major, major level of resistance. We break through that, hold it on a daily candle, preferably on a weekly candle. I would say then there's a possibility that we'll be off to the races. So we have time is your friend. We have time to work this out. We have time to try to figure out where we're going from here. But there's lots and lots of resistance. So, all right, I was looking at Chainlink. Yeah, like I said, 1377 is my entry. So could go lower, but I'll be patient. I'm typing that in the trading journal. As always, if you want a link to the trading journal, head to YouTube right now. And I'm going to share it in the live stream chat. YouTube, World War Bitcoin. I am live on YouTube. World War Bitcoin. Yeah, it's going to take at least a month of grinding before we would be off to the races. Man, I haven't given an update on Litecoin in a while. Any new thoughts on the tariffs? No. My thoughts on the tariffs have remained the same. It's a time to buy. Buy the event. I have been buying for the last 3 weeks. And so, let's see. Oh yeah, Litecoin. Huh. My last notes about Litecoin were I have more confidence now that $92 would be a good level to short Litecoin. It was a rough stretch there. I did short Litecoin, but I think I gave up. I don't remember. I'm pretty sure I gave up because it would just like kept on inching higher, 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 trying to break through support or break through resistance there, but then whoop. So if I kept that open, that would have been great. Now, this one's kind of a stay away for me. It looks like it should go right back up to 94. It just like it didn't bounce off of it kind of filled this liquidation wick here. This level is probably wrong now that I'm looking at it. That's probably the issue. I don't take good enough notes as to why I even set that level in the first place. You can see it did respect the level, but a little bit higher. I'm just going to move it a little bit higher. Yeah, that's probably a more accurate one. So $80, if we were to get down to $80.70, that's a good level for an entry. But I just, is it going to get down there again? I'm not sure. This is a stay away for me. If you buy spot Litecoin right now, you'll be fine. Ride that up for a modest 7% gain. All right, here's what I'm saying. Staying away from Litecoin for now. Spot buys are fine. Not loving the idea of longing or shorting right now. So, okay. How about Quant? Quant hasn't been looking so great lately. Ooh, Pendle. Oh, look at Pendle. I bought some Pendle a couple weeks ago. No, I mean, it's right up at resistance, so I wouldn't buy it now. But Pendle's looking nice. Yeah, I would. Maybe around $3 would be good for an entry now. Go down, put in a higher low at around that previous high. Man, what's up with Pendle? All right. Sorry, I'm happy when Pendle does well, because you guys know how much I love Pendle. Yeah, Quant doesn't look so good, but if it has bottomed, it's just barely a higher low, just barely. I'm not messing with Quant right now. Is there anything to draw here? Trend line, yeah. I want to see it get on the other side of this. Which it could, it could happen very soon. But I'd rather long Quant on the other side of this than longing it right now. And I am mostly looking for longs right now. And I want to be clear with you guys about that. What was I just saying? Longing Quant. Oh, up until a couple weeks ago, my primary thing that I was doing and looking to do was short crypto. And so that was my primary thing. And what I came to find when it's my primary thing is I make more money shorting crypto than longing crypto. That flipped. When did that flip? That flipped on March 24th. I said time to start longing. And so now what I've come to find is I still do some shorts, but I'm not doing as well on my shorts as I am with my longs. So I know the response is, well, shouldn't you just only do longs right now? No, that's not how I feel. Especially during a time when we're hoping that we're at the early stages of a new uptrend. But an uptrend in Bitcoin has not been confirmed. And Total 2, you might be able to call that an uptrend. You might be able to finagle me and say that we are. No, you know what? No, we're not in an uptrend yet in Total 2. Because if we do, yeah, I can text you on YouTube. I don't know. Oh, no, are you a member? If not, then the only people who can comment on YouTube are members. All right, Solana. But you can comment here. And if you want access to that spreadsheet, the trading journal, send me a message, Jody. Solana. So I bought a lot of spot Solana on Monday at a price of $124. Yeah, on YouTube, you're supposed to be a member. Oh, you are a member on YouTube? So, I mean, just to be clear, subscribers on TikTok are different than members on YouTube. Okay, you should be able to comment on that then. I don't know why you wouldn't be able to comment. Okay. Got a bunch of questions all at the same time. I'll start with Greg on YouTube. Is there a difference between spot buying and long buying? Yes, yeah. Spot, you buy the crypto and you hold it. With longs, so there isn't a difference in the sense of like, longing is buying, but you buy spot, you just buy and hold. You enter a long, you could do different types of leverage. And for me, call me crazy, I do like doing 1x leverage for longs because it helps me have a mindset of like, this is very short term. I'm not holding this for, because what I've come to find is when I buy spot, I'm just content to let it sit there and not really pay attention to it. But when I'm in a long, I really care about about winning that trade. So what's one you really like right now and have hope for as of today? Chainlink for sure. Pendle. The Pendle chart looks really good. Solana looks good. A lot of altcoins look like they've bottomed. So, there's a ton of them. Anything that put in a higher low. Marco, hi Alex, will Bitcoin go to USD 70K, 76K before the next leg up? I don't think so. I do not think so. I think the lowest that it would go, let me pull up the Bollinger Bands again. That would be a problem if it went to 76K now. I mean, that's just, maybe you would call that a double bottom, maybe. I mean, there is a scenario where we would remain bullish and it would go to 76K. That would just suck, And 76K, like I've been saying, is my bottom. We close a weekly candle below 76K. I think we're done for the rest of the year, unfortunately. So, oh yeah, Bollinger Bands. And then I'll respond to those questions on TikTok here. So Bollinger Band's lowest on the daily right now is 81. I could see us going to 81 and being fine. But on the weekly, it's a little bit lower than that. It's like 80. So I don't see us going, 80.8. It's very close to 81. I don't think we're going to go down there anytime soon or below there anytime soon. All right. Would you rather long this event or out it into savings, put it into savings? I mean, listen, I've been buying for the last 3 weeks straight. I didn't buy just to sell today. I bought to expect some return more significant than whatever today has to offer. So, all right, ZBCN. Did I look at this before? I think you might have asked me to look at this. Oh, yeah, South Korean. I remember it looked at the first thing that shows up is ZBCN priced in the South Korean won, whatever that's called. And I did look at this before. And yeah, I remember this chart. I don't know what to say. Aside from like, I'm very surprised given how new this is that it's held this floor for so long. I mean, so many newer utility cryptos are really suffering right now, but this one seems to be doing just fine. So it's holding at least. I don't know anything about it. Volume over the last few weeks has been really good. Maybe it's building up strength for another move higher. I wish I knew more about it. I know nothing about this crypto. Yeah. Hello.
Excuse me, I'm just looking for someone to ask about it. Was this church always called Christ the King? Or did
No. It used to be called Highland.
Baptist?
Yeah.
Is it just a change of the name, or did
That church sold it to this one. So
Is it still Baptist or is it?
yeah.
Okay.
Hmm.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, sure.
You have a good day.
Yeah, you too. Okay. All right. Some random guy is walking around this building. My office is in a church. I'm not sure. It's not like random people just walk in. Crane Dave, thank you for joining the channel. Yep, Dave, I saw that. I'm hoping this is just a wick, but all right, so Dave says dominance pushing above the ascending wedge. It could be just a wick. Jody, there's a difference between being a subscriber and a member on YouTube. A member is a paid thing on YouTube. Subscriber is just anyone can subscribe. Yeah, I'm not so sure. I'm not sure either, Dave. This is the one sour point for today. Is like, this isn't what we want to see. Now, is there any hopium for this that I can inject? You know, maybe. Well, no, there's always false breakouts of things like ascending wedges, always. And if there's any point where it's like, you know, maybe this is going to be the peak of this false breakout. This is the 702 retrace from the 2021 peak of Bitcoin dominance, or 2020 peak of Bitcoin dominance, to the bear market bottom. It's 63.26%. So it maybe this is a fake out, and the market makers love to do that. False breakout, and then we get rejected. That's my guess is, if this is not a wick on the daily chart, that unfortunately Bitcoin dominance has much higher to go. Much higher, being like mid 60s. Or maybe even higher than that. How do we become a member on YouTube? Because I used to be one. Yeah, sure. Let me go to youtube.com. Sorry for everyone else. You know, Jody's been patient here. View your channel. So go to my channel, YouTube. Click on any of my videos. How about this one? All right. There's a button right here. It may not show up on mobile, but there's a button next to my username on YouTube that says join. You click that and you can join the channel. So anyway. All right. I would be okay with it if both were moving up and Bitcoin was just outpacing, but I don't like that it's just that alter not moving. Yeah, I'm with you on that, Dave. I mean, I'm looking, so I was in a long on XRP. Let me pull up XRP here. And I was just getting frustrated on this long because I entered about where the price is right now. And Bitcoin's up, you know, Bitcoin's putting in a nice green candle today. Last 3 days have been green for Bitcoin. And then XRP, if there's any altcoin that I would be like, all right, this should pump. Yeah, that's a good point. It could be uncertainty because of today. Like, but if there's any altcoin that's like, this should pump, my thought would be XRP should be high on that list, maybe number one on that list. And so I saw it pump today, and I was like, you know what? I did not enter at a good price. It was an impulsive long. I'm just going to close that long and make $15 or something. I mean, literally, it was a very small amount of money, and so I closed it. And I'm happy I did now because I'd be back to being down on that long. But then Bitcoin, Bitcoin's got some nice green candles, 3 in a row. So we'll see. Maybe it is the uncertainty. Maybe that's the fake out, Entered a Miro long at 16 cents, or not, 1.6 cents. Miro. All right, so I'm guessing you're up today. Will it be bad if Bitcoin goes under the green line? All right, let me go back. Wait, actually, let me look at Miro. I mean, I don't know, man. So Miro's doing what a lot of altcoins are doing. It's been flat for 2 months now. So your 1.6 cents, could it go down to 1.5 cents from here? It could. It's hard for me to do technical analysis on meme coins. I've lost a lot of money shorting meme coins. I have a feeling that it's a conspiracy, not a conspiracy, but that they know. It's like Bitmart. It's like they call the Bogdanov twins, and they're like, he just entered a short. Pump it. Now longs, I've been wanting more so to short meme coins, so maybe I should just enter longs instead. But then maybe it, seriously, I have a hard time leverage trading meme coins in either direction because, okay, decent volume recently, okay, because I do wonder if they're on. If they're on there so that these exchanges can take advantage of people shorting or longing these cryptos, like the meme coins in particular. That's how I feel every trade on Uni. Why Uniswap, Forgot? Why do you care so much about trading Uniswap? I don't get it. Oh, man. Where are we? Where's my trading journal? Okay, there it is. Give me 1 second. I'm trying to handle this. I'm going to look at the Solana chart. Solana. Oh, wait. Let me keep Bitcoin open on one tab here. Yeah, Dave says on YouTube, I actually like quite a lot of memes for spot buys, though at the moment it seems a lot of them have formed a base before utility. I agree with you on that. I think it's just like, so if you remember, like December, meme coins started dumping a pretty, a couple of weeks before utility did. Utility kept going up for a couple of weeks in December, and meme coins, it felt like just meme coins were dead. But so they've been dumping for longer, which means just that they're at a more of a floor. So I don't think that's a terrible idea. Okay. Solana. So I mean, along with that, Solana's at a floor too. But I mean, some altcoins have formed some floor prices as well. Yeah, Brett as well. Did you buy Sage's Fort? I did not. Is it Sage's? Is Fort Sage? Did Sage make Fort? I'm curious now. Or is it just something that he? So I know I've seen a lot of people hyping up Fort. Um, they wanted me to make a video about it, and I said no. All right, you think he just promoted it? Yeah, they wanted me to do a promo. Um, it's been doing well. I've seen that, so cool. You know, but I was like, no, I'm not interested. Which one is it? It's a BNB crypto. Is this it? Fortuna Protocol? I mean, hey, look at that chart. Don't chase green candles. Oh man, volume is $86,000 for a $66.3 million crypto. Huh. That doesn't sound like. Oh man. I mean, maybe that's just a BNB thing, you know? Because I mean, it's easy with Solana, just the casino to just get in and out. Um, I don't know. I'm not touching this at all. But I know there's like a huge sell tax, which I've always been. I would love to launch a cryptocurrency. I'm not going to, but launch a cryptocurrency with like a 15% sell tax, and then just use that. Use the proceeds of that to do crazy things when it came to like promos, buybacks, things like that. So sorry, one other question. Don't apologize. It's a member live stream. You can ask as many questions as you want. When expect that Solana memes will move on or dead? I don't think Solana memes are dead. I think we need Bitcoin back above $100,000 at least. That's what I would say. Now Bitcoin, you know, I'm hoping that this isn't just a wick, and you know, at this point, I think it's just profit taking ahead of the people taking money off the table ahead of the Trump announcement in 2 hours and 15 minutes. But I mean, let me look at this in like a 15-minute chart or something. You know, maybe we'll come down and bounce off the trend line. That would be ideal. Or bounce off the 200-day. But as of right now, this is looking like just a wick. Which, you know, hey, baby steps, one step at a time. It would have shocked me if on one swipe we broke through the trend line and the 200-day. So all right. I feel like I'm not sure if it will even be bullish if he comes out and backtracks on most of the tariffs because of deal numbers. I don't think so. That's not my concern. I actually, if he moves forward with the tariffs, we've been selling on so much fear. There's been so much fear with these tariffs, with the uncertainty, that the implementing of the tariffs is like, okay, well, here we are. Now we have less uncertainty. So my mindset is, it's always been, here's our opportunity to buy. The buy because there's been peak fear, peak selling, and buy for something, you know, whether that's buying for and holding for a couple weeks or a couple months. Not for a couple years, that's for sure. So that's been my mindset this entire time. Let me look at SUI. SUI. Highly inflationary new utility. You guys should know by now how I feel about higher inflationary new utility. And high or low, you know, chart looks decent. Huh. Wouldn't surprise me if there were some secret 50x longs placed yesterday. Maybe. So maybe Sui's going to start a new uptrend. I mean, look at this entry here. I just wish I was paying attention to it. $1.96, $1.97 for Sui was a perfect entry. I drew that trend line a long time ago. Not trend line, the support level, a long time ago. I don't even remember when I drew it. $1.96 held perfectly. You could have done a 100x long at that level, and it would still, you'd be up huge on that. With Sui, I'm not too excited about doing anything with Sui right now. Okay. Not that anyone cares, but I'm going to look at Tron. I don't, you know, whenever you hear me talk about leverage, I know I'm going to sound like a total hypocrite. Do as I say, not as I do. Let me tell you a story about high leverage looking at this chart with Tron. I saw Tron holding this level as support, not having a single daily close below this level of support. And then what happened? It had one daily close below the level of support, bounced off the 200-day, and then went right back up. And wouldn't you know it, when did I decide to do a high leverage long on Tron? At any of these points. I mean, I would have got liquidated on this wick right here. So, I mean, that one wasn't a good one. But the odds were pretty in my favor that if it got down to that level, I did a high leverage long, that it was just going to bounce right back up, and I'd close the long, and I'd make a few bucks. But it was at this moment right here that I decided to open a high leverage long. And of course, the only daily close was this point, was when I opened my high leverage long. And I don't think I got liquidated. Or no, actually I did. I mean, listen, if I do high leverage, I put in like 50, 100 bucks, something like that, and just pray, you know. So I got liquidated. And then it went right back up. That's what greed will do to you. When's your next live with Devin? Every Friday. So Friday again. So nothing's changed. 22 cents. 22 cents perfect entry with Tron. This is one of the only cryptos, one of 4 cryptos, I think, that outperformed Bitcoin from its peak to its bear market bottom. In other words, it didn't dump as much. This might be, you know, maybe it's forming a cup and handle here. Or you could see a descending triangle. That's bullish. So Would need more. All right, hold on a second. Let me see. Big spot for SPY. Could be double bottom. Could be an H pattern. And if it cracks, we're going way lower. Yeah. I've given my thoughts on the S&P and on the SPY ETF. Hopefully that is a double bottom. I mean, I'm not excited that it went lower. But I mean, stock market can do that. Stock market's weird in the sense that like it'll put in lower lows and you think it's a downtrend and then it pumps hard. Like, I mean, look at the end of 2024 here. You know, you could say, hey, downtrend. Hey, look, downtrend. And then boom, goes right back up. So uptrends and downtrends are actually easier to have confidence that this is legit in crypto than it is in stocks. I remember seeing this in the SPY and thinking that that was going to be that was the peak, and that we were not going to go higher, and now we're going to start a new downtrend. And then what happened? You know, we put in 2 more barely higher highs and then dumped. So you know, who knows, man? Double bottom, sure. Again, my mindset is SPY to about 600, S&P to about 6,000. And then it would be over if we're even lucky. If we're even lucky enough to get up there. Jamil. Alex, are we cooked? You know, at this point, you're better qualified to answer that question than I am. Here I am hoping for some sort of a relief rally and crossing my fingers for new all-time highs before it's over. So that I can make some short-term gains onto the upside before shorting this market to zero. But you tell me, Jamil, are we cooked? You know, I've been telling people that I've been their second best friend on TikTok this entire time. Next month is uncertain. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. And then after that, we're cooked. We cooked. He just said it. Oh, he said it on his live? I mean, we are cooked. I'm just, you know, what kind of relief, what kind of pump can we get before the cooking begins? That's what I'm holding out hope for. I mean, I've been buying the last 3 weeks with the expectation that I'm going to make some gains. Yeah, slow roast. I don't know, man. Slow roast and then inferno. All right, I'm going to look at VeChain. Oh, gosh. Trouble is I struggle to see the alts going much lower for a sustained period of time. I can see the alts going much lower than where they are right now. Much, much lower. We are, man, I really wish, not that the live streaming was a thing in 1999. I really wish for education purposes that I could go back in time and watch live streams from 1999 when it was starting to crack, you know? Because I wouldn't be surprised if there were a lot of people saying about these .com stocks, it can't go lower. I mean, we're at all-time bottom levels. And I really think altcoins are going to go a lot lower than people think, a lot lower. And then, I mean, and that excites me. Again, I'm not talking about the next month or 2 months. I'm talking about the next after that. But the reason why that excites me is, could you picture buying Avalanche at $2 or something like that? You know, Solana. I don't even want to throw out a number for Solana. Solana could hold up stronger. Avalanche at $2. Ethereum well under $1,000. And then after that, monetary conditions working out in our favor to where Bitcoin would go well beyond its 2024, 2025 peak. The gains would be enormous. And I wouldn't be surprised if we were able to filter out a lot of these moon boys and they'd go work at McDonald's and never come back. That sounds amazing to me. They can go back to the bottom in 2022. A lot of altcoins are at or even below their bottoms in 2022. I think they can go lower than that. I would say the same about small cap stocks. I mean, small cap stocks, they could go bankrupt. They could go to zero. I was thinking a good idea. Would you want to start a shared book list for members? Psychology, trading, investing, anything of value. Chip, I have on my trading, in my trading journal, which is available for members and subscribers, I have a tab titled Resources. And as of right now, there's how many books? 13 books listed that are good books for traders. And I'm reading through one right now that's phenomenal. It's probably, I haven't read all the books on this list. It's books that were recommended by people whose opinions I really like. But the book that I'm reading right now, I made 2 videos about it on TikTok and I posted them on X. Best Loser Wins by Tom Hugard. Best Loser Wins. This is a fantastic book. Trading is all about your mindset. It's 90% about your mindset and 10% about understanding technical analysis. And the thing that I said in my first video talking about this book is that Trump scam pump a month ago threw me out of whack. I was killing it with my trades up until that moment. And then this last month has been really bad for me. Now, I mean, I've lost a few $1,000s. Okay. Not terrible, but like by my standards, it was the worst month trading that I've had in a year and a half or 2 years, something like that. And so I started reading this book and it just caused me to have a mental shift in my head that I could just like, all right, I'm refocusing, but not only am I refocusing, I am focusing on getting every area of my life in order. And that's, I think, is going to contribute to my trading. So working out 7 days a week. And whether that's like just going on a walk or doing some kettlebell exercise, I have a kettlebell at home, or going to the gym. Reading, I put my phone on airplane mode after dinner. I keep it on airplane mode until the moment I go to bed. I turn it back on, just check to make sure that I don't have any important messages, and then I put it back on airplane mode, and then it's off. It was on airplane mode until I wake up in the morning. For me, like I said, my office is in a church. I go to church, so my spiritual life is important. Getting that in order. This is causing me to do a whole scale reset, and diet, not eating sweets, all of that is going to make me a better trader. Best Loser Wins motivated me to pursue all of that. So you are fully expecting a crack in the financial system, then I'll take it. I'm expecting a recession. I'm expecting a recession worse than 2022. That was a recession. And we've never really seen Bitcoin exist in a recession. Solana $30. It may go to $30. All right, so VeChain. I mean, VeChain. This is a lot of altcoins right now. I'm a little hopeful with is this it? Is this the bottom? Bottom March 10th, higher low. Maybe. Can we hope? Can we pray? Thank you, Josh. Really appreciate that. Maybe it is. Maybe this is it. I just want to wait and see. I want a higher high, and then I'll start. I am in right now, but I'll start, longing pretty aggressively at that point. So maybe putting in a higher low right now. Want a confirmed higher high before longing aggressively. Not doing anything now. In that scenario, I'm more likely buying stocks than crypto. I'll buy stocks for sure. I'm telling you, no, I'm buying more crypto under that scenario. Avalanche at $2 or something like that. I'm buying more crypto because we're talking multiple X's even on a dead cat bounce, big time. Does Best Loser Win author create content on any social media? Yeah. Let me show you. I'll pull up his X. He has an X account, and then he documents all his trades in a Telegram group. Now he's in Europe. He does most of his trading in Germany on the DAX in Germany, and then he'll do trading on the stock market in the United States. So this is him, Tom Hugard, 41,000 followers, which actually really excites me that he has that few followers. And then he has followers, in his Telegram groups. It's like 45,000 people in his more people in his Telegram group than followers on X. So this guy's legit, like, big time trader, killing it as a trader. Read Best Loser Wins twice and annotated. Yeah, I'm gonna read this. This is gonna be like my my go-to. Like anytime I'm feeling out of whack, I'm just going to open up Best Loser Wins and read a little bit more. And then my friend Tim, you guys remember him as Crypto Weatherman, the anxious investor. I'm not familiar with that. I mean, I'm friends with a guy on X named Anxious Investor. But Crypto Weatherman commented on one of my most recent videos and said that he's a huge believer, that he loves Best Loser Wins, that he recommends it to all the people. So he's not Crypto Weatherman anymore, I don't remember his name anymore. He changes his name as much as Prince did. But all right, the Anxious Investor. All right, guys, I'm feeling like we're nearing an ending point. I'm going to look up the Anxious Investor on Amazon just to see what it's about. And then, at night when I turn off my phone, I read. I've been reading a lot, so that means I'm going to mastering the mental game of investing. That looks like it's right up my alley. Yeah, I'm probably going to buy this. So yeah, I go to bed, turn off my phone after dinner time, put the kids in bed. I have an hour, 2 hours, and I read. Yeah, I will add this to the list. I'm going to do it right now. What's the name of the guy? Scott Nations. Stretching, yeah, that's not a bad idea. Many pounds ago, years ago, I was an elite 800 runner in high school. And the athletic director, he was a state champion hurdler. And he told me if I had any desire to excel more than what I was doing, I needed to stretch more, and I didn't listen to him. So who knows, man? We're all legends in high school from our high school days. We all remember ourselves as legends, but maybe I would have been a state champion if I listened to him. I was like top 20. All right. At most, it would be things like Bitcoin, ETH, Sol. I would not want to touch anything else. Yeah, Dave, I'm with you on that. I'd be more interested in doing low X longs on big cap stocks because they're probably going to run the printers. Yeah, that's what Trump wants. He wants to get the Fed to break down and so that they run the printers and that it just feels like things are amazing by the end of his term, and he's remembered as like, this guy who saved the economy when in reality he didn't. I'm really as a Austrian, a believer in Austrian economics. I'm loving the Doge stuff. But he's going to run the print. He wants to run the printers. So for the time being, I will take the Doge stuff. Okay, I'm going to be done. Have a good one, everybody. For members live streams, I will see you next week. I'm going live with Devin on Friday. Yeah, going live with Devin on Friday. Our normal show. I am not going to be live tomorrow because I have life stuff in the way. So thank you all. Have a good one.